Digimon Fusion, they changed Kamemon's name to Chibi Tortamon and very slightly changed his design for no apparent reason. That's hilarious. I watched Fusion. I didn't know they did that. I must have never noticed. You know what it was? Is I had to watch it. Normally I watch Digimon dubbed because, you know, I grew up on dubbed Digimon. But I watched Digimon Fusion when it wasn't dubbed, so the only option was the Japanese sub. So I bet when I, like, read that in the subtitles, I was like, must be a Japanese thing. That's just what they call them in Japan, and then they call them Kamemon over in the US. Decent chunk of experience there. Oh, we're getting close to degenerating, man. I don't want to lose my Jumbo Gamemon. We should be able to use Apollomon against Chaos Galamon, which will be good. Seo? Ko? I don't know. Oh no, 8 minutes of stream left. You're mistaken. There's an hour and 8 minutes of stream left. We're going for 4 hours today. I do 4-hour streams of Digimon. Megaton Hydro will probably do more than Double Blade because of elements. Yeah, there we go. Either way, Digimon Fusion is probably the worst Digimon anime, at least out of the ones I've seen. I don't like to bring this opinion up because there are always people that come up in the comments like, no, I like it, but Season 5 is definitely the worst. Data Squad, Savers, whatever you want to call it, is terrible. Fusion is like, okay. It's got its problems, but overall I think it's fine. It's still nothing on the first 4 seasons, but I liked it. But it's definitely not great. But Season 5 was just like, it was abysmal. The only thing it had going for it was the amazing Digimon designs. Alright, what's her face? Barone should be down here, theoretically. Yeah, there she is. Seo ID confirmed, Seo comparing, incompatible, critical error. Emergency purge initiated. This man has a Volcomon. Bum, bum. Double Blade. Taiki seasons were good, Tagiru seasons was bad. Dude, I remember watching, when I say Fusion, I mean the Taiki seasons. Like, after they beat Bagramon or whatever, then I'm like, that's the end of Fusion, in my eyes. That was Season 6. Then they did, like, Season 7, which was, like, included Taiki in it, and then, like, Nene's brother or whatever was in it, too. And then that new guy, and I watched, like, 3 episodes of that, and I was like, okay, they actually made something worse than Season 5, and then I stopped watching. Ba-da-boom! Oh, Mojimon is level 35. He was supposed to Digivolve already. Dummy. Ah, Seo? No. Ko? Take this. Ah, thank you. You're much more useful than those other 2 nerds. You can enter the union room with this, but be careful. Cheap Julie is. Ah! No, stop. My head. Scan data. Check, check. Error 0. Status wait. That sounds terrible. Alright, I want to get Musyamon to Digivolve before we fight the boss here, because otherwise it's a huge waste of experience, because he's only 1 level away. Actually, it would really slow us down for a little bit, but I wouldn't mind. I would not mind getting, getting Mammothmon to degenerate again, and probably even getting Vajramon to degenerate again, and then, like, the boss fight could rocket them right back up to Ultimate. You have to degenerate for the first time, unfortunately. Jumbo Gamemon, I will miss you until we get you again. It will happen eventually, don't you worry. Back to Shajinmon. Alright. Wait a minute, when can you become Goapamon? Level 19. So... definitely, at the very least, I have to level you up one more time before I fight the boss here. If nothing else. Because otherwise, it's just a demonstrable waste of experience. And we get pretty good experience when we get, like, more than one Digimon to show up, so shouldn't be too hard. I already miss the Jumbo Crater. Please bring it back. I will use Crimson Flame in the meantime. So much fire. How did you miss? How do you miss a move that hits, like, everywhere on the map? What are you doing? I don't think I've heard what your favorite Digimon anime is, though. Mine, personally, is Tamers. I think all first 4 seasons of Digimon are pretty much comparable. Like, the first 4 seasons, I would be willing to go to bat for all of them being relatively the same level of quality and enjoyment. That being said, Season 4 is probably my favorite. Very incredibly closely, like, followed, maybe even tied with Season 2. Because I grew up on Season 2. Not only did I grow up on it, but it was also a good season, just flat out. I don't think it's because of nostalgia. I just think Season 2 was good. But the more and more I talk about it and think about it, I think I just like Season 4 the most. Season 2, very, very close second. And then Season 1 and Season 3 are basically tied for me. For 3rd place. And then Fusion takes 4th place by default, and then Data Squad gets 5th place by default because I think it's bad. I want to get Musyamon to Digivolve into Vajramon, and then I'm going to take stock of what level and form all of my Digimon are at. And then we will decide if we're going to fight the boss or try and do any more grinding real quick. I wish my Phoenixmon had literally one good move that wasn't its signature. Season 2 is probably my least favorite of the first 4 seasons. Story seemed a bit disconnected with a lot of plot lines that went nowhere. What plot lines went nowhere other than the Dark Ocean? The Dark Ocean thing went completely nowhere, and they never did anything with it. 100% agree. Other than that, like, what plot line did they not follow through on? Like, they went through with Black War Greymon really well. They had the Dark Children with the Dark Spores or whatever. They went through and did all that. They had Myotismon come back, which was kind of out of nowhere, but I thought was really cool. And I really liked the way they finished up that season because it felt very, like, Digimon. It was kind of like, you know, power of friendship aimed at children, but I thought it fit the theme of Digimon very well. Black War Greymon's sacrifice was amazing. And I really liked all of the Digimon Emperor stuff. Like, the first couple of episodes, like, it was like 10 to 20 episodes. I absolutely loved all of the build-up with the Digimon Emperor and the stuff they did with Chimeramon was great, etc., etc. So, I mean, other than they absolutely did, the Dark Ocean thing was completely pointless, and I don't know, it had like 2 episodes. I don't know what they were doing with that. But, like, other than the Dark Ocean, I don't think Season 2 had any kind of story issues. I think it all went very well. Specifically, like, I don't think that Season 2, like, got worse over time. I just think that the Digimon Emperor section of the game was, like, near flawless. Or, the Digimon Emperor part of the anime was near flawless, and so, like, that was probably the best part of the show. But I still think the rest of the show was really good, especially Ken, like, joining the team and getting Pyildramon, etc., etc. But, like, the Digimon Emperor part was just, like, fantastic. The mini saga of the Digimon Emperor of Season 2 is probably, like, the best saga of all of the seasons, in my opinion. Ba-da-bum. What am I trying to do right now? I need Musyamon to get 500 more experience. In the ending bit, the kids' jobs they get seem somewhat weird. Like, why did Matt become an astronaut? I don't know. Why wouldn't he? I don't think that really matters. I don't even remember any of them other than, like, I think Yoli became a housewife for Ken. Ken was a private investigator. I think Kari might have been a teacher. I don't really remember. And then Davis got to run his noodle cart. And really, Davis running his noodle cart is all I cared about. Because that was hilarious. I loved it. But I wouldn't... Even if it does seem a little weird, I mean, that's fair if you found it a little weird. I really don't think that applies to the overall story of Season 2 at all. Double Blade. In the Try movies, Matt straight up says out of nowhere, says that I might become an astronaut. That sounds hilarious. What a good throwback that is. Ty became a diplomat to the digital world in the ending. I love that. That's great. Oh, dude, it's a freaking Epimon! Have you been here the entire time? Why am I only just now fighting you? Boom. Hey, guess what? Crimson Flame. Was Agumon wearing a suit when Tai became a diplomat? If true, I love it. That's fantastic. All the people in when Season 5 came out like, why does Agumon have gloves on? I hate it. In Season 2, check it out. We just gave him a suit. Just straight up. You thought the little hand glove things were bad. We literally just sent him to a wedding. Alright. Shajinmon only needs 3 levels to degenerate, and he's leveling up so fast. And then Mammothmon, I think, only needs 5 levels? 5 levels is a little much. I want to get Shajinmon to degenerate before the boss as well, because he's so insanely close. I know we're stalling a little bit here, and I apologize, but it won't take long, hopefully. I mean, that just means more Digimon videos for you guys. What are you complaining about? Who do you think the worst Digimon is, Chaos? I've mentioned this before when talking about, like, designs and stuff. I don't really have a worst Digimon. I think that pretty much I'm sure there are, like, 1 or 2 Digimon that are just actually stupid and bad. But, like, even, like, Numamon and Sukamon, I'm like, they have their place. They're, like, they're the joke Digimon. They exist as a joke. Which means they're not bad as a result, because they're a joke. I don't really think there are any bad Digimon designs, really. There are maybe some Digimon designs that are a little subpar when compared to other ones. But I don't find any Digimon designs bad. As opposed to Pokemon, where I think Pokemon does have some bad designs. That's when it came up. Someone asked me, like, what do you think has better designs, Pokemon or Digimon? And I was like, I think Digimon has better designs, not just because, like, the coolest Digimon are cooler than the coolest Pokemon, but also mainly because I think that there are some Pokemon that are just bad designs, and I think they're stupid and shouldn't exist. Whereas when it comes to Digimon, I'm like, every Digimon kind of has his place. Numamons and Sukamons, were you listening to me? I literally said like 3 minutes ago. Not even 3 minutes ago. I said like a minute ago. Numamon and Sukamon, I said them by name, are not bad designs because they are joke Digimon. Because they are meant to be jokes and they fill the role of being like the joke, like, oh, these guys suck. They're not bad. Yo, these guys are living too much. Please die. Oh, get Daydream, nerd. I didn't even realize you got paralyzed. I was looking at chat. Or not paralyzed, confused. Agumon gives a ton of experience, doesn't he? There we go. Midasmon being the villain was a bit of a strange choice, especially since he was stated to be straight up dead. I mean, kinda, but again, I thought it was cool. I liked it. I understand if you were like, I wasn't a huge fan. That's fair. But I liked Midasmon coming back and being Midasmon, and I liked the way they finished him off. It would have been nice if they did more with Daemon, but I think Daemon was also tied into the whole Dark Ocean thing. Something had to have happened during writing or something where they were just like, a higher up or something said like, hey, the Dark Ocean thing is getting too dark for kids, so you have to pull the plug on that. And they're like, but we have Daemon and all that, and he's related to it too. And then some higher up was like, no, this is a kid's show. You're not doing the Dark Ocean thing, so just stop doing that right now. And then they stopped doing it. Which, I mean, if someone in the company was like, you can't do that, then their hands were tied. So again, I give them a bit of a pass. You are only 2 levels away from degenerating. How hard would it be to get you up 2 more levels before this boss fight? 350 experience? That's like 2 Abamon. Again, I realize I'm like super stalling getting into this fight, but I hate wasting experience in this game because grinding can get so tedious once you finish off a bunch of the bosses in the game. The guy who was doing the Dark Ocean stuff in Season 2 made all of the Tamers season, which is why Tamers is darker. Makes sense. I forgot I got an instant blow on you. Yeah, Mammothmon only needs like 2 more fights to level up. I'm gonna do it. But then, after that, that's it, though. I left your name as Shajamon, but you're Guapamon right now, aren't you? Yeah, after this, we fight the boss. After Mammothmon levels up 1 more time. Whatever you're learning is definitely not something I want. Because you learned it at such a low level, I must have already given it up once. I also want Skull Balukimon in another Digimon game. I want an all-skeleton Digimon team in a Digimon game, please. I want to be able to run Skull Greymon, Skull Balukimon, Skull Mammothmon, and then there are probably other Skull Digimon. Add them to the game. If there aren't more Skull Digimon, make them and put them in the game. Alright, 1 more fight. Then the boss. Skull Marimon doesn't count because he's not actually a skeleton. He's a fake Skull Boy. Because he's like, he has skin. You can't be a Skull Digimon and have skin. That's against the law. So he doesn't count. I need a better Skull Digimon. Alright. Really quickly degenerate you, and then we go fight the boss. Yo, Mammothmon and Vajramon are getting really close to getting the 99 aptitude, boys. Reapermon is known as the Skull King. I don't think chat is understanding what I want. I don't just want them to be involved with the word skull. I want them to be skeletons. That is what I mean when I say I want more Skull Digimon. Alright. This is a good setup. You two are going to be able to degenerate after this fight. You'll get to 40, you'll get to 36. You'll probably get to 34 to Digivolve again. You'll be able to degenerate because you got to get to level 26. You two won't get up to 34 and 35, but you'll get closer. Let's go.